Paul, do you think a country mouse is smarter than like the common house mouse? Yeah, like it seems the common mouse gets lazy because there's so much food around. What? Plus, they barely move because they're always connected to a computer? What? Welcome to another episode of the Mighty Code Coder. I'm Rob Fitzgerald, here to make you great and help you innovate. In this episode, we are going to continue our coding sessions by going through each unit's coding exercises. Something I forgot to do yesterday. I will help solve these problems in front of you and give you some of the steps I use to solve them. See, in the past, we would spend some time pair programming so that you can watch others code. This way, students worked together and found procedures and shortcuts that would help them code. So as I continue to search for ways for this to happen with distance learning, I will show you some of the steps I take when coding, and this will give you some ideas to take with you as you get started. All right, so I will open bookmarks and I will click on adhesive. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open Safari. There's my bookmarks, and in my bookmarks I have adhesive. So this is a good time, and when you guys log in, I'm now in my I'm teaching at South Hills High School. I'm in my first period, Intro to Computer class. I will also be adding Computer Science Principles and Computer Science A to this video. So if you're in those classes, please scroll to where I talk about those classes. But we'll start with CSP. We'll start with CS 101, and we'll first log in. Paul, you really think that a common mouse is hooked up to the computer all the time? Jeez. Okay. Anyway, so let me log into my adhesive. Need to verify this, my two-step verification, so I don't get hacked. Okay, and I go ahead and log into my courses. We are in Intro CS, so if anyone outside South Hills is watching this, I don't know if anybody would, but if you are and you're in adhesive, this is kind of a how to go through some of the units in adhesive. So we are now in 1.5, okay? But remember yesterday I said I didn't do a very good job, and I wanted to go over 1.4 with you if you're having trouble with 1.4. And we talked about hardware basics, but then there are these practice ones right here. I want to go over a couple of these practice one. Yeah, some people said they were stuck. On Brooklyn says he's stuck on 1.5. We're going to do 1.5 too. But I want to go back over 1.4 because I remember last year they had a little problem with this. And remember, this is like pair programming. I am pair programming with you. I am your partner. And I want to go over this one. Okay, which looks like I was working on it already. It was left in there. All right, so there's this mouse, and you have to print out the mouse, and it's just a simple Python print statement. Okay, now if you read the instructions carefully, and that's the first part of this class, is make sure you read these. And if you're anything like me, you just scroll right through them. Okay, write a program to output the following. So you're going to take this mouse, and it says copy and pasting the code above into each line of the programming environment will help you ensure that you are accurate, and the spacing is what gets you. Okay, so I remember last year they were struggling trying to get the spacing right. So if you just come in and copy this, whoops, I didn't get the eyebrows. Okay, now you see where I got that mouse little scenario with Paul and I at the beginning. I don't know where some of these little stories come in. But so you start with that, so now you have the spacing down. Now you just have to use your print command, okay? So now you're gonna go, I wanna name it what it is, a print function. And you gotta go with quotes. And I would X that out and paste it right there, Okay, so there you go. So you have that print statement. All right, and you're going to print, and you're going to go ahead and do this with a quote, and then a quote and a closing one. All right, and you're going to print, and then open the parenthesis and I would cut this out, paste it there. Okay, so this one's really not that easy. I remember last year they were counting spaces and they took a long time to do this one. I would just, well, I took the hint from the actual adhesive itself and did exactly what adhesive said. All right, so print, and I actually got the story for Paul and I's verbiage at the beginning, the hook, from that show Alone I told you I'm watching. And they do think that the mice out in the country, in the wilderness, are smarter than the common house mouse. All right, so there it is. So I use print on all the lines. I have the spacing right, I think. I'm going to go ahead and now run the code. You run it, and it looks pretty good. I think that's it. I don't know. If I look over there, I feel like it's a little compacted. All right, but after you run it, you go ahead and then look for grading, and then check your code, and it will test, you know, everything, and see if you're right with the spacing. Remember, it's checking spacing, it's checking the capital, and there it is. All right. Okay, so that was a little copy and paste, and then I put the print after. Okay, so that's what I want to do yesterday. I don't know why I forgot to do that for you guys. Okay, so let me move on now. We want to start with 1.5 today, and so I'm going to show you how to get going with that. Now, hopefully you got those done, and I wanted you to do I think there was a second exercise for 1.4. Question 2. So I have a question from Justin. So you printed the bar, yeah, so there's a bar piece. Remember, I just copied and pasted. So that bar piece, I think that bar piece is above the P, yeah, on the keyboard. So yeah, you just print that. So it prints that bar. There's a snake one. Remember, a snake, same thing, I'd copy and paste it. And then now we get to 1.5, which is today's stuff, okay? So now we're going to talk about output. And there's ways you can manipulate the print output to make your stuff look good. All right, so here's lesson 5 slides, okay? That you have all these videos, okay? And by the time you watch all these, it's about 20 minutes, okay? You can do that, or I found this PDF. This is a how-to of this is just a PDF. So instead of watching the video, maybe you're a better reader. You know, maybe you like reading better. Okay, you can get everything that's in the video with this lesson here. All right, so I wanted to draw your attention to that, slow down a little bit, and really see what you got. So one way or another, I want you to go ahead and read lesson 1.5. Watch or read the PDF, or go through all these videos. Don't forget, these videos have speed. And if you go to 2 times, I find last year I trained the kids to listen to 2, and at first I thought it's too fast, and then after a while, your hearing picks up. By the way, you listen this. Don't quote me for the exact numbers here, but you hear about 1,000 words a minute. Okay, 1,000. I think it's about 1,000, but you can only speak about 600 a minute. You see, so if you can hear 1,000, speed it up 2 times, you're going to be able to understand it still. Okay, I could only talk 600. All right, so speed it up 2 times. See that 2 times, and get through those videos a little faster if you want. If you want, that's up to you. All right, and then read the summaries. And then this is what I like right here. Look at this. Remember Ear Sketch? They have Ear Sketch, and they want you to play it. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but if you play this, it'll actually load a beat. And we're going to do this year. You're wondering, hey, what about this? Run that. It gives you a great little beat. And this is the code that creates that beat. What they want to show you really is that hashtags are just comment code, which means they don't get executed as code. They're just, you can make little notes. So none of this comes in, but all the stuff that's in white, red, and purple, that's real code. If it gets grayed out, it's grayed out because of that hash mark, okay? All right, so let me scroll back. So I want you to take 20 minutes, and in class we have only 18 left. So I'm gonna say this. Go ahead and take the last 18 minutes to watch 1.5, and then end up in the 1.5 exercises. Okay, there's a quiz, and then there is a practice. All right. This Heroku one I wanted to do for you, but why don't we give you time to watch the videos, read the PDFs, and then maybe at the beginning of every class we go and we do 1 or 2 exercises in case you're stuck. Okay, so I will pause it here, and computer science, intro to computer science. Go ahead and start your 1.5 code practice and do your 1.5 question 1 and question 2 on your own. Okay. All right, so for CSP, you're going to make sure that you completed Unit 1, Quiz 1. And remember the password was mint. And that quiz is worth 5 points, but you only get to do it once as opposed to the other ones. Okay? How'd you guys like that IDEO video? Very good. I'll actually go into CSP now and preview what we were supposed to do yesterday. And you guys were on Unit 1.4. And then after 1.4, there was this great little unit quiz and then this big picture collaboration piece. And this big picture collaboration, it was just 1 point. They wanted to do like a little 5-sentence reflection about it. But don't worry about it. We're not going to do that. You had too much to do also with this other idea execution assignment. Or where was it? It was the 1.4 exercise, I think. Yeah, it was a submit. See how it has that submit piece there? Okay, so let me turn the music, make sure the music is down. And I want to, today, make sure that you watch that. If you haven't watched that, it's a great video. Today is Collaboration Tuesday or Pair Programming Tuesday or Scrum Tuesday. So if we were in class, you guys would be trying to get together with a group of people and talk about what's working, what's not working, or what you worked on today, what you worked on yesterday, and then what's blocking you, and try to solve some of those problems as a group. We'd also do Pair Programming Tuesday, where you actually just pair program with someone. And so today, I'd kind of like to do that a little bit, but just have me be your partner. Actually, we're going to start doing Scratch. So you're going to it's another system you got to log into, and you're going to log into that system and do your first Scratch project or program. Okay. So if I was to go to the bottom of this screen, there'd be a next button. And now it is 1.5 getting started in Scratch. Okay. So we are going to watch this video and this video. And together the videos would be probably 30 minutes long. Look how many videos they have just to get up and running in Scratch. All right. So what I would do is if I was you, watch these, make sure you can get running in Scratch. Now some of you guys might have a Scratch account already because you did it in your prior middle school or whatnot. So if you do, you can use that one or you can make a new one, whichever. Okay. But watch this. This is how to make an account. And if you want to speed these up, by the way, I talked to my last class. You listen at about 1,000 words per minute. You could hear 1,000 words per minute, but you only can verbalize 600 words per minute. So as I make this video, I am slower than what you actually can hear. So I always, when I listen to videos, I go 2 times. I don't know about you guys, but I go 2 times. I showed my kids last year that if you do 2 times, you could probably understand it. And you could, hey, we're only on this earth for a little bit. So double time it and you get things done faster. So if you're not comfortable with that, you could just stay with normal. But I would double time those and watch all those videos. And then your very first project is called the cat's meow. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and start your scratch and do the cat's meow. Okay, that's what you're going to do. And after you get done with that, you will complete exercise 1.5, the step scratch tutorial, and you'll turn in your URL canvas. So you're going to make your first scratch program, and then you're going to, every time you do a program, it will have its own URL. And so you will turn in that URL to your canvas. Okay, you'll copy and paste it in your canvas, and that'll be proof that you got that done. Remember, that's the step scratch tutorial, which is right here, and this is it right here. Okay, so they want you to do that scratch 12-step tutorial, and so you're basically going to make a tutorial of how you do your scratch and then submit it to me right here. And for information closer to what I want exactly, you read these 4 steps. All right, and then this is how you copy your URL into Canvas. All right, so that's going to be about 30 minutes worth of video, and there is only 23 left in class. So I want CSP, just get going, and whatever you don't do here, do for homework tonight. Okay? All right. All right, now with CSA, today I want to do a pair programming exercise, and I will be your partner. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I take on some of these projects, and maybe you can do it like that or not. Okay, but I want to show you how I would do 1.5 coding activity 2. All right, so let me get out of CSP, and I will go into my CSA class, which is programming in Java. Okay, and they are in module 1.5. All right, so I'll go to lesson number 5, and they were doing modular. It's really not in 1.5. It's lesson 5, or it's unit 1, lesson 5. Okay, so I call that 1.5. Okay, and so if you get confused with my naming, just remember you guys are unit 1, lesson 5, 1.5. And yesterday we did the fast start, and you learned about modular division. Okay, and in that modular division lesson, I thought there's a couple cool things here that I want you guys to notice as you read this stuff. And I didn't show you yesterday, and I didn't do a very good job yesterday going over this. There's this lesson 5 slides, which takes place for these videos, I believe. So if I click on that, now I could scroll through. Now, if you're someone that likes reading better, you could get the information like this. Like maybe, you know, that one time where you don't have your headphones and your mom says, turn that phone down. So maybe you just look at this instead of playing the videos. All right. So I like those because I could kind of get my head around everything that's in there real fast. Okay. So that's one tip I wanted to show you that I would be looking at. If not, once again, I would be looking at these videos, and remember, I would double time these videos. Okay, I'd go to this button up here. See, I'm up here. Okay, and I would click on double time because remember, we can listen at 1,000 words per minute, but only talk 600. So I'm probably talking even slower than 600. You guys probably talk 600. I probably talk lower than that. Okay, so 2 times, and if you want to get those faster, I like this piece, and I think I did mention this yesterday. These are some templates for you to use, okay? And now you see it shows this Java IO and this Java language and import Java scanner. We talked about that before, but then you get this big sentence: public static void main string args, throws, exceptions, whatever, okay? And what is that? No one's ever explained that to you. And you know you're coding here, but you have this big piece of stuff. That's the main program. That's basically your testing program. That's what's going to run first. When you run your program, it's going to look for the main function. And it's named main. That's the name of it. And it has parentheses around it Okay, so that is a function, and a lot of kids don't see it because there's too much stuff around it. You will get, when you get through this class, you will know public, static, void, main, string, okay, and you'll know what an array is. There's so many things thrown at you there. They don't tell you to learn it all. Just write it down, and you might be going, "Hey, I don't know, I don't understand any of that stuff." Well, don't worry about it. But here's what I would do. I would go ahead and select all these by Command A, and I'd copy them because I know somewhere I'm going to need them in my activities. Okay, so as I go and read all this stuff, I would then go next. And I think the next thing that they had was a review question. They always do a review, but I want to get to 1.5. Here's coding activity 1. Okay, and then they have, if I finish that, and I'm going to actually do that in front of you, they have coding exercise 2. Okay, so you have to do these, but let's do, actually I have us doing 2, and it looks like I already did 1. So let's go over 1 real quick since I have it done. Okay, so 1, here is all you will need. Oh, by the way, you will not be tested on the AP test about your imports. They'll never have you write some kind of imports and test you on it. Okay, they will never test you on public, static, void, main, string, args either. They're only going to test you on your algorithms and your functions. They're going to say write a function that does this within the, they're going to give you all this outside stuff. Okay, so it's nice to know this. If you're going to be a programmer, you should know this. But for this class, for AP Computer Science A, you don't need to know how to do the imports on the AP exam. Okay, so don't worry too much about it, and I will always try to explain what it is. Every class you create starts with the word class and then the name of the class. So this is just a name that they made up, and the class is surrounded by curly brackets. This is a function, as you know, that is, their main is in black, and then it has 2 parentheses around it. So that means that's a function, just like f of x. I always tell my kids, you guys are aware of f of x from your math class. You know that's a function. And so every function in computer science has the same thing, a name, and then the parentheses, and then something in it. You're just used to f of x. Well, f probably meant function, but your teacher doesn't tell you that. And x is any variable or anything, any data you want to put inside that parenthesis. All right, so when you see some of this stuff, you should be able to identify it by just how it's written and the color. All right, so they want you on this one, make sure that you read the whole thing. It says write a program which takes a positive 2-digit integer as input. The program should print out the digits 1 per line. Okay, then it gives you a hint. Integer division can give you one of the digit, modulus will give you the other. All right, so here is the 2. They want an input. So I put in 6 and 7, then it will output 6 and 7. You're like, wait, I put in the number 67, not 6 and 7. So you're not storing this as one integer's like x is 6 and one integer y is 7. This is 67. So then how did they split them and put them on 2 lines? Well, okay, the first thing to do is you use scanner to input from the keyboard. All right. And when I create a new scanner object, you know I go scanner new. All right. And then the very first thing I want to print out, tell someone, enter a whole number. Okay. And you guys know how to use a system.out print line. Okay. I used a print. I could have used a line also. All right. And then I need a variable. I need something to hold the first text that comes in. Now, I don't really want to, when that first number comes in, I don't really want to hold that to where I want to show it. I want it, once it comes in, I want to manipulate it. Remember I said computer science is all about data and manipulating data? Okay, so the data comes in and it's held in X. Okay, and I should name this something better. I should name it whole number. Okay, and I'm using Camelback, so lowercase w and capital N, so people can read it better. All right, and then now I'm going to manipulate it. So I'm going to make this data something different. So I need another integer, and I'm going to call it first digit, and I'm going to say I can get the first digit just by dividing by 10. You know, 67 divided by 10, it's going to be 6. Remember, since it's an integer, it just truncates to 7. So I can get the first digit really easy by saying whole number divided by 10. Boom, I got it. That's a 6. All right. And so when it prints it, it wants the numbers 6 and then 7. It wants on the next line. Okay. So, and it also has a thing say, here are the digits. Okay. I got to create that line. All right. So I write a system.out print line. Okay. Or print, either one. I like print line. And then here are the digits. And then I put a forward. Remember, this slash right here. It's above the return key, and when the top goes back, it's a backslash. When you want the top to go forward, it's a forward slash. So that's a forward slash, that's a backslash. Sometimes kids get confused on which is which. Just look at the top. So backslash n means print the next one on the next line. Okay, so, all right, so here I go. Here is the second digit, all right, and it's going to be... remember I changed this to whole number. Okay, so whole number mod 10, and modulus, remember, is the remainder. So now if I go 6 mod 10 or 10 mod 6, no, it's 6 mod 10, that means it's going to be the remainder of that. Actually, let me start that over. If I go 67 mod 10, okay, it's going to go 10 and goes into 67 6 times with a remainder of 7. The mod gives me the 7, the remainder. All right, so now when I print that out, I just go system.out print line first digit plus that /n. Remember, it goes to the next line. Okay, that's a little print command. Okay, and I think they talked about that in a couple sections before. They're actually learning that right now in Python. So if you had my Python class, you got taught these neat little output symbols. Okay, so \n is next line. I think \t is tab. \quote will print a quote. Sometimes how do you print a quote if your quotes are what holds a string? All right, and this plus is concatenation. So I take first digit plus the second digit, hit return on the keyboard, and then second digit. So when I run this, it'll run like this. Okay, enter whole number, 67. Hit return on the keyboard. Here are your digits, 6 and 7. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get an error because there's a space between 6 and 7. Okay, let's see what that does when I grade that thing. Okay, this was me when doing it before I passed them all. They have 4 different tests that they're looking for when you code things. This is really a help, you guys. This has never been... Doing your code right here has never been like this in the past, and this is great. And they put these test code in there, and they tell you what's correct and what not, what they were testing for. So you should actually look at that and see what they were testing for. Okay, and so that when you code, you could start seeing, okay, what you should have. Okay, so that's 1.5, and let's do the next one. You wanna? All right, so 1.5. By the way, we're going to do this one. It'll take us right up to the end. Okay, so if you already have these done and you want to work ahead, then we're going to start lesson 6 next. You could do lesson 6 fast start, and then you could watch lesson 6 videos, which take about 14 minutes. All right, and then you do the quiz, and you do the coding exercise 1, 2, and 3, and then there is a assignment for this unit, okay, called movie ratings. Okay, you're going to do the assignment, and at the end, you're going to do unit 1 review, and then you're going to do unit 1 exam, and I'm going to have all this due for you guys Friday. Okay, so I'm going to put that if you're staying with us, you should have all the things in unit 1 done by Friday and take that unit exam Friday. Now, again, if you don't get there by Friday, I'm not going to cut you off. Maybe you do it over the weekend, but you should be working through this stuff diligently. And the pacing guide says you should get to the end of the unit 1 and do the unit 1 exam Friday. Okay, and at the end of this, I will tell you what the unit 1 exam password is. Okay, so let's do one more coding things. We're doing pair programming today. It says, write a program which takes 3-digit number as an input, then prints the digit of this number 1 per line in reverse order. Okay, here's a hint. Break this challenge down into repetitions of the steps used for activity 1. Using multiple variables will let you store digits and intermittent results. Okay, so I like that hint. That's what I would do too. I would probably say, well, I did a lot of coding on that previous example. Why don't I just take that example, okay, and copy it and bring it with me, and I won't have to code all that over again. Okay, so remember that first example came from the template they gave me. Now I'm going to give you this. All right, so it says, please enter a 3-digit number. So I know I have to make sure I do that. And I like put exactly what they put because they might be testing for it. Please enter a 3-digit number. Let me scroll in a little bit so you can see it. Okay, what happened to my enter? Okay, please enter a 3-digit number. And I will go ahead and do that. That looks good. Okay, they want that. That looks pretty good. All right, 678. So they want the next line. So I'll say my whole number, or I could even say let the variable be exactly what it is. 3-digit number. And you see I'm using Camelback. I capitalize the very next letter of every word. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good. And then it says, here are the digits. And I think I have that already. Here are the digits. And it wants them broken apart in. So if I put 678, it wants 876. So what do you think the answer is? Well, you got to divide the whole number instead of by 10, divided by 100. Okay, that will give you that first digit. All right. Now what are you going to do? Anybody want to try to guess what you do next? Okay, that definitely gives you the 6. Okay, and with a remainder of 7, 8. Okay, so the second digit, it's not the second digit, it's going to be that remainder, that temp number. Okay, so what I want to do is make this a temp. And in fact, I could actually call this the two-digit number. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so it's going to take the 2-digit number, is going to take the first digit number, okay, and it's going to mod it by 10. Okay, so if I go first digit divided by 10, that's going to give you 7. No. Okay, so that's going to give me 6, right? So now I have to get that remainder of that. So if I get the remainder of that, that's going to be my next number. Okay? So I do kind of like that called temp. I'm going to call that temp. Okay, temp first digit mod 2. That gives me that next number. All right? And so now I have to go int second digit equals temp divided by 10. Okay, so it's 78 divided by 10, I get 7. Okay, so that's my second digit, 7. Okay, now I have to create another temp for that last number. And I don't like my naming, but for lack of time, I'm just going to go with it. All right, so now I go second digit. Let's go ahead and go mod 10. Let's see, I had 78 divided by 10. Yeah, mod 10 should do it. Okay, good. Good, mod 10. So mod 10 should be that temp 2. Okay. And I guess I should call this third digit, right? How about that? Second digit mod 10 should give me now the 8. Okay, so I have 6, 7. I divide it by 10. I now have 6 with a remainder of 78. Then I do it again. I have 7 with a remainder of 8. Actually, yeah, so mod 10 should give me the 8. Let's see if we're close. What do you guys think? Anyone think I'm right or wrong, or oh boy? Okay, so let's go first. Now we have to do it all backwards. Okay, so we have to go third digit. All right, and then second digit, and then I'm going to copy this. See how I'm copying and pasting the quickest way is the... Okay, put a plus here, and then go first digit. Okay, all right. Now, I did a lot without testing, so I could get some errors and it could get real messy here. I always say test your code before you go too far. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. Let's see how many errors I get. Oof, they don't like that one. Okay, so cannot find symbol first digit. So it's basically saying my whole number is no longer here. So this is now 3-digit number. Okay, let's run that again. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, 6, 7, 8. Hit return. 006. I got the last one right. Okay, so I just didn't get the 8. Okay, or the 9. Let's see why I got 0 there. So this is a code that there's no errors in it, but it is a logical error. I'm not doing logic here. All right, so let's see what I did. It's probably this temp thing. I didn't like this to begin with. So if I go first digit, temp, second digit is temp divided by 10. So this one should give me, and so here's how I troubleshoot, you guys. Check this out. So I'll go system.out.print line, and I'll print out temp just to see what I get. Okay, these print statements end up being very good troubleshooters. Okay, so let's see what temp ends up getting. Okay, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it ends up getting 6, which is nice. So it's not that it's temp 2, huh? Or it's the second digit. Okay, so the second digit. Okay, so let's see what second digit ends up being 0. So temp is 6. Oh, so I shouldn't do this. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so I shouldn't do this in a temp. Okay, I should do this actually as the second number. Okay, so that temp is just 6. So we really wanted it to be first digit is what we wanted. All right, and now let's run the code and let's see if I get closer. No, I do not get closer. All right, so we got to troubleshoot this. It's obviously as we cut that thing down from 6, 7, 8 to 7, 8 that we have to get the logic right, and we'll have this thing printed out correctly. But that's close, and if you are in my class, you are about to check out. So you guys can check out. I will finish this up. I'll put it in the video, and check out the video to see how I actually solve this. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so as my class logs out, I will continue troubleshooting my code, and somehow my temp is wrong. Once I mod it, I don't want the mod. I want the 3-digit divided by 10, which still gives me 6. Okay, so I want the mod. So I want temp. I do want temp. It's 6. Temp is 6. Mod 100. Okay, so temp, when I print out temp right here, which is first digit, mod 100. So first digit equals 3-digit number divided by.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Do we turn in like the Slack link on adhesives?
Yes, into Canvas. Yes.
Oh yeah, like the submit link.
Yeah, the link.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Jed. See you later. Okay, so let's figure this out. So let's make sure I stay organized here, and if I want to, I could put some things saying this is going to give the first digit of 67. So I'll basically comment my code, make sure I am staying organized. That's what gets kind of heady with these things. So you want to kind of spread them out. Okay, so this, I'll put a comment saying this gives this, or this produces 6. Okay. And now I want to produce the remainder. Okay. So I want this to produce 7, 8. So that's what I want here. So I get a temp number and I take the first digit, which is 6. Okay, so I don't want that. I want this should be 3-digit number. Okay, so that 3-digit number mod 100 should give me 78. Okay, that's nicer. All right, so I could actually run that and see if I'm closer here. All right, there I got 78. So now I'm better. Okay, so temp is where I like it. So now I want to go ahead and say second digit is temp divided by 10. So divided by 10, it'll be 7. Okay. And then I want this to be temp. Mod 10. Okay, so let's run that. Oops, sorry. Six, 7, 8. There it is, 8, 6, 7. Okay, so that works. But let's continue commenting the code out so that you guys see it. Now I could get rid of this print statement because you don't need it. Okay, and I could put in this produces 7, and I could say this produces 8. Okay, so you see now I'm using comment code, which helps you out. It helps you organize your thoughts and see where you're going. I was using the wrong variables in the wrong area, but now you could see when I run this code, I should have 6, 7, 8, and then I go ahead and hit return, and now I have 8, 7, 6. That looks pretty good, and I think I should go ahead, and I have a space here. I probably shouldn't have a space, but let's go ahead and grade it to see what my grade is on it. Even with that extra space, it might ding me for that extra space, so I'll do that when I get my grade. Checking my code. Ah, it's 100%. All right, so I didn't care about my space. By the way, that space was right there. If you don't want that space, you can delete it. Okay, and save it. and get that turned in, and you'll get your full points. Okay, so that's how I code. Hopefully you learn some things. Hopefully you learn what not to do. Okay, but I think the big takeaway is definitely try to get your stuff spaced out and organized using these comment codes. Okay, don't worry about imports. They're not going to be tested. Just copy and paste them in there. And this public static void main, it's okay if you don't know what that full thing does yet. We will talk about it later. Just try to work with these algorithms, okay, and try to get the logic down. That's the big part about this class, okay? All right, so I think that does it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember, always trying to make you great and help you innovate. So until next time, Paul, what? Oh yeah. If you have questions, leave comments below or go to the website at www.themightycodecoder.com or find me on Twitter at themightycodecoder. Thank you for watching.